May 21st, 2019. This is our sixth video. We're going to look at our fifth tool here about what we were going to do if we were trying to find a cure. I'm not saying there is, but if there was, it might include these options that other people have put on the table for us to examine. And we've looked at a whole bunch of them so far. We looked at traditional 12-step tools. We looked at interior work, specifically John Bradshaw's inner child stuff. We looked at Patrick Carnes's abuse, sexual abuse, all 6 types of child abuse, and how that affects it. Gandhi's food. But there's another source that is incredibly useful if we're going to find a cure. When I was 27 years old, I went to a monastery at 4 in the morning because I heard some guys, as you can see, I'm a musician. I heard some guys were singing. There were 50 guys singing at 4 in the morning, and I didn't believe that they were in it for the money. And so I went and saw them, and they really were. And I got to be friends with probably 25 of them, 26. But I got really super close with a number of them, and 2 of them were really sterling characters, really stirring. One ended up being a mentor of mine for 13 years. He died 2 months short of 100 years old. He's a Catholic monk. And one of the things I noticed about these guys is that they prayed 5 times a day, 5 times a day. Now, my Muslim friends all do that, and I've known that since I was in 8th grade. But I didn't see it up close, because I'm not Muslim. I didn't see that up close until I got to 27. So one of the problems with treating addiction is it's physical. People deal with a compulsion. Am I masturbating? Am I drinking? Am I eating sugar? Am I smoking cigarettes? Am I taking drugs? And it's all that. But what we miss is the mental part, which is 98% of the problem. You figure if you do the math and you masturbate 20 minutes a day, 7 days a week, that's still only 2% of the day, 2% of the week. That means you've got 98% left that's untreated, and that's where the treatment is. So what I noticed about these guys is these guys were, I'm not selling Catholicism, I couldn't care less. But what I am selling is these guys dealt with their minds. They did it in a positive, healthy way. As a consequence, were some of the most sterling. They were loving and warm and kind and gentle and unselfish and funny and emotionally present and aware of their God and humble and meek. And they weren't plagued by obsession and compulsion. None of that stuff. They didn't have these deep cravings. So one of the tools is to use prayer and meditation, but not just, saying the Serenity Prayer once a day at a meeting. My wife and I, we pray 5 times a day, Monday through Friday, for 15 minutes. Now, I'm not saying you have to do that, but the question is, do you want a cure? And I'm not saying there is, but if there is, one of the things might be to change the way we look at things to address the mental stuff and to use prayer to help eradicate this deadly disease. Just a thought.